It's often been said that life is risky. In fact, more than 7.8 million children visit emergency rooms annually due to accidents. And for Trustmark, most of them, it seems, originate from a nice little lake town west of Milwaukee called Oconomowoc, because that's where Trustmark Accident insurance policyholder Terry Zastrow lives, along with wife Jen and their 3 children, Crash, Boom, and Bang.
Throughout our years, we've had quite a few mishaps.
There was always a time where someone was injured.
I tend to be accident prone. In Minnesota, I'm known as Disastro.
I've broken my arm, I've had chronic back issues, chronic knee issues, I cracked my cheekbone, and I've also had ankle issues.
I tore my MCL during a football game, and then I kept playing the game, so it kept ripping and ripping until it ripped right off my knee.
8th grade youth football, and we were at a practice, and I was running routes with the quarterback, and he threw a ball that ricocheted off my finger wrong, and it dislocated my pinky completely.
Had you ever been hurt before?
Are you kidding?
A hip injury, a knee injury, a shoulder injury, a concussion, a few elbow injuries.
Got in the lake, there was glass, broken glass, and stepped on it and sliced my toe open.
Yep, Zastrows and safety. 2 words you're not likely to hear in the same sentence anytime soon. Despite the Zastrow family's penchant for mishap and injury, Trustmark has only been involved with 4 of them. Nicole's stepping on the broken glass in the lake, Brad's bad back, Nate's knee, and one more we'll get to in a second. Because you see, like any good consumer, Terry did his homework before making a financial decision.
When the policy first came out, there was a lot of discussion about putting in the Zastrow exclusion. I know when I first saw the pricing that they put up on the board, and I went back and thought about all of the different Zastrow emergency room visits and broken bones and things like that, and I figured out what we paid out of pocket, and then I figured out what that Trustmark would have paid for that policy, and then looking at what I would have paid for that policy during that 10-year time period, I think I was up about $4,000.
A little over 2 years ago, Terry bought the accident insurance policy from his company, an affordable policy that does a nice job of filling coverage gaps for a variety of qualified occurrences, including but not limited to emergency dental work.
It happened about, actually around 2 years ago. I was in the Trustmark cafeteria having lunch with Dan Johnson, and just eating some pasta, and all of a sudden I felt something crunchy in the pasta and wasn't supposed to be there, and as I pulled it out of my mouth, I realized it was part of my back tooth. Saying if breaking my tooth was on Trustmark pasta, if that was the issue, or if I had a bad tooth. I think there's another factor in this. It could have been the conversation with Dan Johnson at the time too. I might have just been wrong because of that, just talking with Dan or whatever Dan was saying.
All across the nation, though, there are likely thousands of families, or at least 1 or 2, just like the Zastrows, who live life to the fullest, who participate in sports and outdoor activities year-round, and yes, who also from time to time eat pasta.
The boys was, what I would call just more of the normal high school athletic sports injuries that occur and are pretty common. And Nicole's was just a typical Zastrow freak of nature type of thing of jumping in the lake and slicing her foot on it, So, again, maybe the Zastrows have more of those freaky home accidents, but I do think that other people have some of them, so.
I think the Zastrows should keep the accident insurance policy because it's nice to have that assurance that no matter what crazy things we do, we'll be covered.
Well said, Nicole. Well said.